Hi, everyone. My name is Neil Van Niekerk, and I'm the Executive Director of the climate-focused nonprofit 2DegreesC. We're very proud to be part of Florida Climate Week, and a sincere thanks to the Vola Foundation for the invitation and opportunity to share the 2DegreesC mission with you all today. Introducing our nonprofit team, we are functionally organized in Washington State, although I personally live in St. Petersburg, Florida. However, we're not working alone, and as a nonprofit, we have built an invaluable network of partners and in-kind contributors, including project development specialists, board advisors, and athlete ambassadors, all working together to help us meet our goals. We have a brief window of opportunity right now to change the direction of climate change. It's a window we're all looking through, and we all have an equal opportunity to determine the outcome. It's this opportunity, a journey that we can take together, that I'm addressing today. Climate change is a big puzzle, and we're missing some very important pieces of information. Right now, we have pretty good climate information for cities and other urban areas, but what we don't have is detailed data about the weather and environment in remote places to understand how climate change is affecting them, both on land and in the ocean. 2DegreesC cares about the people and biodiversity that fall in the gaps outside of the areas currently served by the existing network of climate observations. Without these hyperlocal observations, we cannot understand climate change at a scale of a community or ecosystem, and this puts people, assets, and these essential ecosystems at risk. Our initiative connects you and other recreating individuals to science, education, and activism through the collection of climate data from the remote areas that you visit. We are a nonprofit organization that is trying to fill in those missing pieces of climate data by collecting data from remote places around the world. We use special sensors attached to recreating people like you and me, so we can help collect these data and share them with scientists. With low-cost automated sensor technology attached to citizen scientists, we can bridge the climate data gap and enhance the resolution and accuracy of climate data by sharing them with scientists worldwide. The climate data collected by outdoor recreation enthusiasts can be used to improve ecological models, calibrate satellite data, and support science-based conservation responses. We have developed low-cost IoT sensor platforms that are easy to use, and the climate observations generated are shared for free with science to help reduce climate uncertainty in those areas. Starting and ending an observation session is as simple as tapping a button on your mobile phone application. Every hour outside generates up to 60 highly accurate georeferenced observations, and the automated process takes care of sending the observations to our cloud servers, where we anonymize and quality control them before openly sharing them with the world. Our ocean sensor project was recently endorsed by UNESCO as part of the Ocean Decade. Partnered with Marine Life 2030, our ocean data can be complemented to other scientific data and used to understand species migration occurring because of climate changes happening in the ocean. By participating in the 2DegreesC initiative, we believe that the outdoor recreation industry can make a real difference regarding climate change. The climate data collected by outdoor recreation enthusiasts can help scientists understand the environment better, which can lead to better conservation efforts and protect the places we love to play in. Our initiative is global by design, addressing data gaps on land and in the ocean, and can provide critical information for vulnerable communities and ecosystems. Our solutions are cost-effective, making a big difference on a small budget. Setting up traditional weather stations and sensors is expensive, with the maintenance of them further adding to the cost. But the 2DegreesC initiatives offer clever and affordable solutions. Using citizen scientists like us, we can collect large volumes of data at a fraction of the cost from the areas that have inadequate coverage, where data are expensive to collect, and in places that are often difficult to access, making it a cost-effective and scalable way to help. At 2DegreesC, we're focused on outdoor recreation. As we know, to affect change, we need to act locally, and there are very high numbers of people recreating. And they are recreating in the places they care about and are more likely to want to protect them. So outdoor recreation offers us opportunities to collect data and thereby fill in the data gaps. Our sensors are being tested in remote environments, from Appalachia to the Cascades, and in the ocean from Hawaii to Florida Keys, to ensure data accuracy and usability to science. Getting involved in the 2DegreesC initiative can help drive innovation in the outdoor recreation industry. And by using climate data, we can come up with new ideas and strategies to help protect nature and the places that we love. These data collecting opportunities transfer to our corporate partners as social visibility, seen here in real examples of brand extension, where these early adopters can be seen promoting themselves as sustainability leaders through participation and partnership. Participants in 2DegreesC's climate observing network can be alerted when their observations are used in research. And via our gamification model, designed to offset participation fatigue, they can track their contributions, which translate into credits that can be redeemed for rewards through our corporate partners, further incentivizing and growing global data collection and providing critical insights into areas with few to no climate observations. Through their mobile app, participants can also share their sessions to social media, engaging their own audiences, whereby recreating individuals become the ambassadors to these environments. Presently, the nearshore coral reef realm has active monitoring of about 1.5% globally. Through our partnership with Sensoid Technologies, we've been able to begin alpha testing the 2DegreesC wavelet to get insights into the nearshore coral reef environment, using recreating divers in the Florida Keys and Hawaii. These near real-time georeferenced observations provide a low-cost pathway for reference network validation and computer model calibration. Through our UNESCO program alignment with Marine Life 2030, we hope to provide insights to marine conservation managers and scientists relating to species health and migration. We are currently developing our 2DegreesC wavelet through alpha testing and forming partnerships for the stakeholder beta testing to come, after which we will analyze and validate the results in order to publish a comprehensive peer review report. After this, we will engage stakeholders in support of the Ocean Decade, partnered with the Marine Life 2030 initiative while seeking grants and further partner funding. Helping us understand the importance of these ocean data to the Florida Coral Reef Tract is 2DegreesC co-founder, Dr. Carsten Schein.
Hi, I'm Dr. Carsten Schein, Science Director at 2DegreesC. I'm happy to be here at Florida Climate Week. Less than 0.1% of the ocean by area is covered by coral reefs, but they're home to about 25% of all ocean species. The Florida Reef Tract not only provides homes, food, nurseries, and shelter for thousands of species, it provides protection to Florida's coastline, mitigating wave action and storm surges. It also is an essential part of Florida's tourism and recreation economy, with thousands of people either directly or indirectly benefiting from the visitors brought by the reef. But the reef must be healthy in order to sustain these things. And as we know, the health of Florida's reef is in danger from rising ocean temperatures. Most corals have a small temperature range in which they can survive and be healthy. Unlike fish that can easily migrate to cooler waters, corals must endure the conditions outside their comfort zone. Hot water causes corals to stress, and in doing so, they expel their algae that give them their colors. It's a process called coral bleaching. The algae are also their primary food source, and if they don't recover those algae in a week or two, the corals will starve. Bleaching also makes corals more vulnerable to diseases that can wipe out entire reefs in a matter of months. This in turn will harm the many species that make their homes or find food in the reef framework. It's a cascade effect. Recent sea surface temperatures around Florida suggest the water has far exceeded those temperatures. I say suggest because we really don't know what the water conditions are along the Florida Reef Tract itself. As you can see from this image, there really is only one operational data platform throughout the Florida Keys. And that's insufficient to understand what's going on at all places across that reef tract. Unfortunately, sea surface temperatures don't tell the story of what conditions are like beneath the surface, on the reef. Those sea surface temperatures often come from satellite sensors operating hundreds to thousands of miles above the surface, and they can only see what's on the surface of the ocean. They cannot penetrate into the depths. So satellite data have a lot of limitations, and effective monitoring therefore requires sustained observing close to the reef. And aside from research projects that don't really openly share their data until publications have been produced, there are very few temperature observations around Florida's corals themselves, making it almost impossible to accurately monitor for dangerous trends and conditions, find places where local currents might protect nursery outplantings, calibrate the satellite data, and focus conservation efforts on places of greatest threat from ocean warming. This picture is an excellent example of the importance of resolution. The limited observing capacity on Florida's reef tract means we cannot see the real picture of ocean conditions. but each additional observation adds information to the picture until it resolves into something we can comprehend and use. The answer lies not in adding a few more expensive data buoys that need routine, regular maintenance and may still leave miles of reef track unobserved, but rather in enlisting the help of the thousands of recreational scuba divers that visit the Florida reef system every year, and the many Florida diving operators that run daily trips out to the reef. If each diver and each dive master carried an accurate automated sensor while they were in the water, it would be possible to add millions of new temperature, light, and conductivity observations to the open data ecosystem used by scientists and reef managers to monitor and protect Florida's reef system. Of course, the challenge is, how can such data be trusted to be accurate, especially at a fraction of the cost of most research-level instruments and being collected by non-scientists? The answer is that the technology used in environmental sensors achieves high levels of accuracy and performance at an increasingly economical cost, and sensors can also be automated to where there's no need for the person carrying the sensor to participate or intervene in these observations. But perhaps even more critically, there can be concern about the accuracy of a single observation, even one from a research-grade sensor, when there is no other observation to compare it against, and it may not have been calibrated recently. Our approach is to derive quality from quantity. Divers often dive in groups and stay close together, placing several sensors in the water in close proximity to each other. Simultaneous observations from these sensors produce a distribution that allows us to zero in on the likely true value. As each observation is aggregated and integrated into the existing network of data collection, it improves the accuracy of any estimates or interpolations of conditions between data buoys or subsurface data within a satellite pixel. In this way, this approach can fill in some of the large gaps in reef observation and expand the volume of data available for science and conservation decision-making, all while engaging individual non-scientists in a meaningful way that addresses the climate crisis. And this approach is not limited to the reefs. As you can see in this image, there is a lot of space between observing stations across Florida. And it can make a huge difference in monitoring and understanding temperatures across Florida by having wearable sensors worn by Floridians as they go about their outdoor activities. In this way, they can contribute millions of additional observations that can help to map and understand urban heat islands, inform heat danger alerts, and understand how temperatures may vary across the state.
Thank you, Carsten. Now, helping us connect Florida's ocean climate data collection to Florida's blue economy is 2DegreesC co-founder Jenny Disson.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenny Disson. I am the Director of Strategy for 2DegreesC. Glad to be here talking about the role of ocean climate data in Florida's blue economy. I think a comprehensive understanding of Florida's blue economy encompasses industries such as tourism, fisheries, aquaculture, marine transportation, marine technology, all of which are vital to the ecosystem and to Florida's economy. And so with that being the background, the value of ocean data in Florida's economy is substantial and multifaceted. Ocean data is critical to not only those industry sectors, but it is key to contributing to the economic growth, the jobs that are part of those sectors. Those sectors drive Florida's economy, but it's also recognizing more and more the role that those economies play with the environment. So when we think about the intertwined nature of Florida's blue economy and sustainable resource management, we think about it in the context of energy, environment, and economy together. So for example, when we think about fisheries and aquaculture, ocean data is critical for helping manage and understand fish stocks. It provides valuable information to commercial and recreation fishing industries. This is super helpful and necessary for developing sustainable harvesting practices and the preservation of fish populations, which in turn, as we know, supports the livelihood of fishermen and seafood industry. Another key industry sector is tourism. We appreciate tourism in Florida. The coastal tourism industry relies heavily upon ocean conditions and ocean safety. So the data that is underpinning the coastal tourism includes water quality, beach conditions, weather and climate forecasts. We understand the importance of hurricane information. All of this is essential for attracting tourists, but also for ensuring safety and stability of infrastructure when there is an extreme event. This is a critical piece of information for tourism, particularly because it's changing the behavior of how tourists will interact and also the revenue that's associated with tourism. So the data that contributes to extreme event information and ocean conditions are very directly connected with tourism. When we think about the coast of Florida, we often connect the coast with water, which is boating industry, shipping industry, and the diving community, all of which contribute together to the ecotourism and the network. And a lot of the economy that benefits from the data is also associated with some of the data collection. Florida ranks among the top states for recreation boating activities, including boat sales, rentals. This particular sector is really critical for livelihood of people in Florida, but also supports businesses and jobs. Another key thing is marine transportation. The shipping and the marine transport industry in Florida benefit from ocean data. This particular industry needs ocean data for navigation, for weather forecasting, for storm tracking, for safe navigation. So accurate data that comes from NOAA and other environment and natural resource offices within Florida helps prevent accidents, helps reduce downtime, helps to optimize shipping routes. The transport and the trade part of the marine transportation, again, drives the economy, and the impact they have on the environment is part of the same conversation. When we think about ocean data for climate and environment, it is all intertwined in Florida. Ocean affects air temperature affects oceans. All of these things together affect the environment and the economy that thrives and depends on these sectors. So what data matters specifically? What kind of data are we talking about for Florida's blue economy and just the climate economy in general? When we just describe those sectors above, we think about water. We talk about sea surface temperature, ocean currents. I referenced earlier water quality. There's data available for fish stock assessments. We talked about extreme events and safe navigation that involves hurricane prediction, hurricane track and intensity. We talk about sea level rise. It is significant and ongoing environmental challenge for Florida because of its impact on the coastline and low-lying coastal areas. Rising sea levels can lead to a decline in coastal property values that are an important topic for Florida residents and also for the economy. Sea level rise also affects infrastructure, roads, bridges, highways. Florida faces substantial costs associated with retrofitting or reallocating critical infrastructure. So when we have sea level rise affecting this infrastructure, it really prohibits people from getting in and out or going from point A to point B. If you cannot work, you cannot earn, and that is going back to the livelihoods of people. Florida's economy is driven off of tourism. And when you have an extreme event or you have beach erosion or flooding, it deters visitors, which impacts businesses, which impacts tourism, which impacts people's livelihood. So when we think about Florida, we think about environment, economy, and energy all together. Weather forecasting information is critical for Florida's economy. A key part of data is recognizing that data is the underpinning component that is collected by federal and state level government agencies. More and more private enterprises are getting involved in data collection. However, the current suite of data available from NOAA or its partners or NASA or even some of the private enterprises It can be argued that the resolution does not meet the needs of today's impacts and challenges and opportunities. We need more information. We need more data on ocean acidification. We need to understand how harmful algal blooms and fisheries are being affected by warmer water temperatures. More comprehensive and localized data on ocean in Florida is needed to accurately understand the risks, the impacts, but really, how do we develop the solutions? How do we tailor the technology and services solutions? We think about the broader role of ocean and marine transportation. A key part for marine transportation is safe navigation. NOAA, for example, collects information on bathymetric data that's needed for navigation. But you might argue, as more and more enterprises are looking at, opportunities for renewable energy, is that current suite of available data from NOAA sufficient? As more public and private practices look at aquaculture, do we have enough water quality data to understand the impact and opportunities in aquaculture? Needless to say, there are gaps in the current suite of observations, and it will take a lot of information and data to better understand how to tailor solutions in specific locations. Addressing these gaps, from my point of view, requires collaboration between public and private sector. We have research institutes, we have industry stakeholders, we have businesses, cruise ships, individuals, divers, community organizations, nonprofits, even the retired community that's interested in just preserving the ecosystem, working together with government agencies to invest in data collection, in monitoring, and research efforts that is critical for sustaining Florida's ocean economy. Preserving coastal and marine environments does not come at the expense of the economy or is not mutually exclusive. These things can go hand in hand, and why not develop an economy that is also good for the environment? Working in the context of user engagement for many years, I think it takes real engagement with stakeholders across a diverse and relevant set of sectors, like the ones I mentioned earlier, that have a stake in being reliant on the environment, being dependent on the information about the environment and the oceans. When they have that stake, these industries and industry sectors understand their role as they intertwine with our Earth's assets. So I am a big proponent of finding ways to work together to collect information that benefits both the sectors of the economy, but also the key components of the environment that's underpinning development. Florida's blue economy is burgeoning, thriving component, but connecting ocean climate data is critical. And once you can connect these pieces, you can enhance the resilience and sustainability of coastal industries and foster economic growth that is informed by environmental conditions. I believe that this approach can contribute to the long-term health and preservations of Florida's blue economy and the marine ecosystems and the on-land ecosystems. Florida is a leader in many ways because of their recognition in the connection between economy and environment. And I hope that we can find ways to bridge the gap in the data holes. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Getting involved and making a difference is easy. Partnering in support of the 2DegreesC initiative shows that your company cares about the environment and wants to make a positive impact. Furthermore, getting your employees and customers and stakeholders involved in the climate data collection can create a sense of community and sustainability. So if our presentation is of interest to your company or your research area, please reach out to us to connect. Thanks for the opportunity to share our initiative and for your interest in 2DegreesC. We know that interest leads to activities and activities leads to outcomes. I know I speak on behalf of all of us here at 2DegreesC in saying we hope we can work together for a healthier planet.